I actually feel like the pixelated lady of the drive. I just want to draw your attention to that blur which we see on the screen. I now realise from making the other video that quite a few people are writing in that the Discovery, there's loads of little clips of this drive and things. And what they've done is they've just stuck them all together. And this is why none of it matches up. None of it matches up. So we cannot rely on anything that we're seeing here and what it all means. Because what was the point of giving us all this when they had to reconstruct it and put it all together? Because it doesn't show what's really happening, and you can see all the different layers. Like, for instance, here is Chris Watts with his black top on. It looks like he's actually wearing his glasses. It could just be the light, how it's picked out his eyes. But this bit that he comes towards here is just so awkward and doesn't go in sequence with him. You know, it might do to when they're playing it at normal speed, but you know, anybody that's looking into stuff knows that we slow everything down. We change the colours in it to see what we can see. I mean, I think that's his head there, to be honest, and this bit's now got a blur on it. Or you could look at that it was a head the other way around. Whatever it is, it's been blurred. And it becomes a massive blur here. But you see, this bit here, you can quite see him. And then he somehow is down here. Gotta wait for it to catch up because obviously I pre-recorded this. Anyway, we just know we can't take it. We cannot rely on this at all. It's all just bits plunked together, so it's never gonna run quite correctly. I don't know why they bothered showing us this. They should have just left this bit out as it was so many bits, or just left the bits as bits. But you know, as you're playing, you can see him here, but this bit will always run out of sync with him, and then the shadows down here. The shadow's there and he's over there. See, there is something there and he is still here. And you can see it move out, but you see, that's probably his head from the bit that they're going to join on to the next bit. That's probably his head leaning down there. I don't know what's going on because there's a shadow to it there. That is the shadow. And he is still here. So you know what you do, you start like zooming in a bit and zooming in, or just going backwards and forwards with the tape. See, it goes into this weird sort of bit there, and then there's a face. So he goes from going one direction into popping up into this face. And I believe that I've found the pigtail. But it's not what you think it is. Unless that is someone walking across and they've blocked it out. But I think I know what it is. We've just got to wait for the right bit to come up. There. Do you see that? There. So he's that colour going that way and he's still in frame. But actually now he's looking at you, or someone's looking at you, and this is the whole bit with the pigtail, but you can see that it's been doctored. And then you see he's still in screen. Did you see that when the other one ran off? And yes, when you look at it like this, after everything I've just said, where the police have put all the frames together, that the parents said they saw the videos, with unfortunately and sadly him dragging all the bodies out, you get to this bit of footage here where you already know that it's not correct, and it actually looks like somebody here runs off there. He is still, did you see that? He was still in frame here when this person, but on hindsight looking at it, yeah, maybe to a lot of people that's a pigtail and a head. But I'm actually wondering whether what they were doing was they were masking Chris Watts going the other way, or whoever it is carrying something on their shoulders and then pops up this face. I'm wondering whether that is just them masking out his head and him carrying something on his shoulders just there. That's his head going that way, and that is something on his shoulders which they're masking up. You know, it could be whatever you think it is. But again, this doesn't match into the Chris Watts here, so the whole thing is just is a lie. It's not right. What we're watching isn't correct, none of it. It's all just been slapped together somehow. It's just so hard to slow it down, but hopefully everybody saw that in that last bit. And if you want to see it again, just rewind it a minute or two and play it back. But then this other face pops up here. I'm just going to change the resolution and blow it up a bit, just to have a look at it again. Another view. So now I've just changed the resolution of the colour. So we've got the blur, we've got him in focus, and then the blur. Because that's really all you've actually got. You saw it. It's only a tiny bit of footage which just gets, I've slowed down and slowed down. Anyway, we've done that bit. So he's in shot twice. Do you see that? He's in shot there and he's in shot there. How can that happen? Anyway, now we've blown it up a bit. There's a face there. That's the pigtail. That's what everybody thinks is the pigtail. But I mean, we know he's got a black sweater on. So what does that person have round their head? You know, it's either where they've masked the person in, or doesn't that look like someone has got a hoodie on? Well, maybe not a hoodie, I don't know what it is, but it goes up round their neck. Well, sort of, I don't know if I've seen a hoodie sitting quite on someone's half on their head, because you can see the top of that person's head, and in a way, it could be Chris Watts, couldn't it? You kind of see a beard. But how does that person... There he is, in shot. He is in shot here. This is actually him. But he's there as well. How does he get from there to popping up there? Does everybody see that? So, this whole footage cannot be trusted. Because how do we get that? I hope everybody can see that. But I mean, is that someone wearing a hoodie? Is that Chris Watts? The same picture? But they're not the same resolutions. One's a different colour. You saw on the original, it's still quite colourful with him in it. But the bit where we're looking at isn't. So how can he pop up like that? I hope everybody can see that. See what I'm showing you. Here and here. How can he do that? How can he be in two places at once? I don't know what this is. That still could be Chris Watts. But they look like they've got a white thing around their heads. Round the back of their neck, where it's up to their eyes, you can see a white thing. And that's what people think is the pigtail. See, there's the head and there's the pigtail. That's what everybody thinks, right? But at time I showed you just before, it looks like that runs off that way and he comes in, and then who's that? Why have they left this in then, like this? They must have known that we would look into things like this. See, how can he be in two places at once? This whole thing is a lie. You can see how it mirrors and blurs, and who is that? I just find this really incredible when we've already said that the parents say that they saw him, what he did, they saw the footage. Then why would they give us something like this? What was the point? All the sort of splicing and... Why bother giving this to us? I mean, what is that? What is this? Again, what can we trust? Let's see if I can do it right. Is that a child? Oh my goodness. What is going on there? Back to the blur, which turns into a face. It's just all edited and lied, and I mean, what are they trying to tell us with all this? Let's see if I can slow it on that bit right there. Can't. You see that? Look at that. You see that? Him carrying one of them off. His arms out straight. How do we know? That's something, isn't it? Look. At the same time he's coming in, he's going off. So why bother putting this on when he's coming on and going off at the same time? Anyway, will we ever know what all this is? But what does everybody think about this? Is that a hoodie or Chris Watts? What do you think then? Who's that extra face? When he's coming in, we've already shown you, there he is. He can't be there and there. He can't be here and here in two places. So we can't trust any of this footage. Who do you think that is there then?